Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever the hell you're listening to this. You're listening to Fat Unflagged Nerds talking sports Bob with Dad Bods. This is JackKnife alongside Tommy Joe and the Zach Daniels. How are we doing, guys?
Oh, this.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, boys.
That's beer.
Cheers.
The America's oldest
Das
brewery.
beer.
The precious Ying. Yeah, back-to-back weeks. We're getting into a flow of things now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's a bit of a flow.
A little bit.
Yeah, you do got a speed on the flow game, but yeah, it's been a week, and where do we even start? Zach, how have you been the past week? Because not much has changed for me.
Some just normal stuff. Just trying to see if we can do this again. I paid a lot of attention to basketball, but we'll get to that, obviously, and everything.
Yeah, funny thing is, I did run into you on Saturday completely by accident while we were going to the movies.
Yes. Oh, so you saw Super Mario, the Mario Brothers movies,
Yes,
and I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think we both agree. Good movie?
Yes, great movie.
Yes,
I
and Guardians.
I haven't seen either of them yet, actually.
Guardians just came out last weekend, so don't worry. I'm not in the MCU like movie fandom thing anymore.
after
I can't keep
After
up. I
Endgame,
can't
yeah,
keep
I'm
up,
with
man.
Tom. After Endgame, I'm done.
No, I
You
think
didn't watch
I watched.
No Way Home?
Oh, I did. I watched No Way Home. Never
No,
mind.
I didn't even watch that.
I watched the Spider-Man movies, but that's it. So
I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I'm just. But I always love the Guardians of the Galaxy because they're funny and it's like action packed. This is. I mean, I saw someone today who is into it say this is the best movie since No Way Home. To give you an idea of just it's a. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's fucking awesome.
all right. What about you, Tom? Anything new of late? Or
No, things are great. Alex and I are powering through, getting back into a groove with
Another solid
with
episode.
armchairs. Thank you. We upgraded our equipment because last week I developed an issue that I couldn't fix, but we got it taken care of this week. So.
Yeah, this might be. Yeah, if you're watching on video, you'll see Zach and I have like these awesome new microphones. This might be the best sounding FUNTS episode so far.
To date,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
hope
to
so.
date,
Yeah.
to date. And well, hopefully we can keep
Because
this.
so mean to pat myself in the back, but I think
Yeah, you did
I
say
think
it.
No,
this
good
week's-
move. Good
This
is a
week's
good-
armchair is probably the best. It's the best sounding one I've put out.
Yes,
Right.
and I mean, our mics are good for standalone, like just at home.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, when
this is
we're
great for-
recording on Discord, but like
Right.
since we're in person,
Yeah, this
we're
is-
trying to make this because it's so much better being in person.
Oh, the flow is so much better.
It is.
Absolutely.
Because that was the one thing that I wanted to make sure that I could do when I did the NASCAR stuff, whether it was splash and go or armchairs, just because like for me, I always just need someone else with me,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot easier to get everything together when you're all together,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Feel you.
But anyway, let's go into it. We did put on our Instagram story the other day asking you, the listeners, anything you wanted to talk about, and it was submitted by something was submitted by a friend of yours, Zach.
My buddy Alex Leggy, he's a old buddy of mine from grade school. We have I'm gonna send this clip to him for sure. If he's listening or watching, that's awesome. But he moved to the other side of the country. I think he's in Arizona now or something like that. Either way, he moved out of state. Friend of mine since grade school. We had this one legendary moment on the schoolyard playing football. He made a sick Hail Mary, and I made the catch off a couple tips. It was rad. Ran right in. It was dope. Won the game. Yeah, he brought up the rise of pickleball, which is so funny because that is so true. And also, when it comes to Alex, it's funny coming from him. Alex, I swear, I feel like out of anyone who would become like a pickleball maniac, you're the guy. You're definitely the guy. I feel like he'd fit right in with people playing pickleball. But I've also heard that it's for old people.
Yeah, which is what I was going to say. My grandma's been playing pickleball for years now. Like, she always tells me about it. And I don't know if it was the day after my wedding or 2 days after my wedding. I played pickleball with my two uncles and my aunt down in Isle of Palms. It's a fun game, but, there are some rules to it you gotta know. And, some things can get frustrating. Like, it's basically a really small tennis, and you're not hitting a tennis ball, you're hitting a wiffle ball. And, like, if you...
Oh, what?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played it at Men's,
Tom,
remember?
We did play at MEMS.
You played?
I played. You know who else
I've
plays?
never played. Who?
Vinny Hamlin. He actually hosts pickleball tournaments.
Really?
He does,
So here's another funny story. Actually, it's funny that Alex brought it up because in Allentown, where we went to high school together, we I played dodgeball. I've said it plenty of times. Go to dodgeball. It's actually happening this Saturday. May I can't count.
Hold on.
It's
May
May
13th.
May 13th. Yeah, do that. Yeah, go to dodgeball. So it's just, you've seen the dodgeball court. It's just a big cement square that's with a fence, right? Well, apparently a bunch of old geezers went to the board of to Allentown to try and just alter it to make it a pickleball court. And apparently that involves, it's kind of like making it almost like a tennis court, right? So it's like, it would have to have these big stakes in the ground. They were going to try and cut it into I don't know how big they are, but if you think of how big that court is, they were going to try and make, I think, 2 courts out of it for pickleball.
I don't think they'd be able to fit 2 in there unless they took down the cages completely.
Oh, well, I think they were going to try and remodel the whole fucking thing, and they were so they would just be these 2 big stakes with no nets in it.
Yeah,
It would ruin the whole. It would ruin our time.
The Mount Alpin Rec Center, they took the hockey rink, got rid of anything hockey, and just
Are you serious?
Yeah, and put 3 pickleball courts in there,
man. Dude, so and
I have nothing against pickleball courts, but you took away the hockey rinks.
Oh, I totally have something against them because apparently they were actually thinking about doing it until a large contingent of our OG dodgeball players, shout out to the Allentown dodgeball OG guys, apparently they went to a board meeting and they basically pleaded their case. And also there's other kids who play street hockey on days, I guess, that we're not there because there's big hockey nets that are in there. So it's already being used. Don't change it. You actually have a younger community too coming out to play. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, we have too much old community shit. All right, I can't even buy a house because of it. So.
You play near Monroe, right? Allentown, Monroe. I mean, that's.
Allentown, Monroe is not.
Because
Allentown's
Monroe,
pretty far west.
You go to Monroe.
People who are not from New Jersey have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, no idea. But if you go to Monroe in the middle of August, and you don't if you black out and wake up in Monroe, you might think you're in Florida.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Because every community looks like Florida.
People from New Jersey have no idea. I've gone on the site we upload the podcast. I see we have a listener or 2 in Germany. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is pretty random.
Hey, that's cool.
It is cool. International audience. So anyway,
shout out to you, Alex Leggy. Thanks for bringing up pickleball.
And you too, random listener in Germany.
And I love you, random citizen. But yeah, not much has changed. It's dormant time in the NFL. First off, the punt god Matt Araiza. Well, he's innocent. The reports are showing. Initially when it was first reported, all he said was if it's true, straight to jail. But as it turns out, he wasn't even at the event the alleged gang rape took place. So that ruined a guy's career. Who knows? Maybe he'll be able to play again after this. I'm not sure.
No, he's not.
You really think so?
No. I just feel like the NFL is just not going to go near him anymore. Simple.
I mean, Mike Vick was able to play again after the whole dog thing.
Mike Vick was an awesome quarterback.
Fair enough. This guy was an awesome punter.
Yeah, do you think... Really, come on. We're comparing, Mike Vick, a quarterback, to a punter that never punted in the NFL?
I guess, but...
I get it. I love punting. But also, that's why Adam Korsak needs to be on the team. And actually,
look
while
at
we're here...
Watson.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
You're right. Deshaun Watson did do what he did, and this guy was falsely accused for a money grab.
He wasn't convicted of it, but there's a lot of suspicious stuff going on. So I just need to know.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say about that, because I feel like we did touch on it briefly before. I didn't want to be one of those people that doesn't apologize for what happened. You know what I'm saying, Tom?
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, other than that, schedules have been released. I haven't looked at the Jets. All I know is that we'll be playing, the NFC East. I'm hoping to go to the Jets-Giants game with my wife,
My wife.
Right there.
Yeah, the one time, probably the one time she'll hear me cheer against the Giants.
Oh, the Jets and Giants?
Yeah.
Speaking of schedules, the Colts are playing the Patriots in Frankfurt.
In Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I looked at the schedule. I know I didn't look at the scheduled dates, but I looked at who they're playing, and I know I sent it into the group chat, the FUNTS group chat, and I was like, I guess the Colts are making the playoffs this year. A lot of easy teams. And they're not even playing they're not playing Philly or any New York team.
Yeah. I don't know any specific dates, but what I do know for sure is that the Jets will be playing the Miami Dolphins on Black Friday. That much I do.
I know one specific date. the best rivalry in NFL is happening on Christmas Day.
Oh, is that Giants-Eagles?
Yes, it is.
Ooh,
yes,
that's
it is.
good. And
That's a great Christmas Day
Isn't there
game.
also going to be
That's a great Christmas Day game.
Isn't there also going to be a Black Friday game too?
I think. I just said the Jets and Dolphins.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, aren't the Jets and Dolphins playing on Black Friday?
They are.
What?
When's Black Friday?
I think that's after Thanksgiving.
Oh, what?
My fiance's in the kitchen, like, looking at me dumbfounded, not realizing I was being sarcastic. Meanwhile, she's the queen of sarcasm, and
I thought you would have, like,
satire.
given a more sarcastic response.
Yeah, you should have seen. Did you see her face when she heard Giants-Eagles Christmas Day? She's like,
Yes.
"Oh, you gotta be kidding me! The Eagles gonna ruin my Christmas."
So, you could tell me if you guys agree or not, but these are the teams the Colts are playing. No schedule, but just they're playing the Texans, obviously. Texans, Jaguars, and Titans.
Twice.
Obviously. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers, Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, the Rams, Raiders, and Patriots. I feel like that's not...
I think, well,
I feel like that's a pretty...
personally...
I would say it's the easiest schedule, but it's mid.
I think if your team, I guess with a new quarterback and a couple other changes,
New coach. Thank you.
My thing is with them. You're right. That would be good for Anthony Richardson. But I love the Jaguars. I think they're really good. Trevor Lawrence is on the come up. Doug Peterson's a great coach. He took that team in absolute disarray from the Urban Meyer regime and brought them to the playoffs and then won that game against the Chargers, which, by the way, how did they not fire Brandon Staley? I don't understand.
I don't get it. Well, I have friends who are Chargers fans. They can't stand
it. The Colts have something against the Jags, though. Minshew Mania, baby.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they.
Man,
oh man, they better hope that Richardson doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, right.
It's Minshew Mania and a half.
But yeah, as far as the Jets' opponents this year go, they play Dolphins, Patriots, and Bills. Obviously, at home they play the Chiefs, Eagles, Chargers, Commanders, Texans.
The Jets play the Eagles?
Well, yeah, if we're playing the NFC.
Oh, true.
We're playing the Giants. Also, the Falcons at home. And away, well, the Giants, it basically is a home game for both teams. Giants, Raiders, come on, computer work. Broncos, Browns.
Come on, do math.
So I think they should be.
I think you're going to the playoffs.
I mean, I'm so jaded with this team. I don't know what to think anymore. They better at least make the playoffs. I mean, people's jobs are on the line at this point.
I gotta say this. I'm gonna be putting it in my
sport, Jack.
I'll be putting in my future bets sometime soon, and Jets are getting a division winner for sure and a Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. Why the
you
fuck
think they're
not?
gonna beat the Bills?
Why the fuck not?
You think they're gonna beat the Bills? We have to play the Chiefs.
They beat them once last year.
True. Okay. I know we beat them head to head, but I'm talking about like overall. We have to play against the Chiefs too. Well, then again, so do they. But point still stands.
I'm just saying they can't beat the Chiefs, so they just seem
Colts can.
Well, people are saying like Aaron Rodgers is. I think it was Lazard or Cobb. It was like he looks like the old Aaron Rodgers again. Like he's happier now.
Please, I hope so, because when he's on, he's on. And honestly, he's been on besides last year. He's been incredible. I think he's thrown like less than 10 interceptions over the past 3 years. Well, no, last year he did. But he was like, I think his MVP years, he had like 40 plus touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Like, what the fuck is that? That's insane.
Anyway, you got anything to say on the Eagles schedule before we move on? Or
The Eagles schedule have the hardest. The Eagles have the hardest schedule in the entire NFL.
That should be no surprise.
Yeah,
it's not even close. Apparently, I looked at it. I think it's first off, the division is going to be tough. The NFC East, even when they all as teams on paper stink, the NFC East is still just.
I'll always watch an NFC East matchup, no matter who it is.
They haven't had a repeat winner in like 20 plus years, like since the 90s.
Probably like the most parity in the NFL.
Yeah, they haven't had a repeat winner in like 20 plus years. They play I forget. I mean, you said the AFC East. They play the AFC East.
Yeah, so they're going to be.
All those teams are going to be tough. I don't think the Jets will beat them, but the Jets have never beaten them.
Yeah,
and with Aaron Rodgers,
you have to bring that up.
Yeah, of course. But now you actually have a team that I would look at and be like, shit.
I think our best chance recently was in 2015, but yeah, Brandon Marshall tried the lateral while he was getting tackled.
Yeah, oh my god, I remember that. It was so bad. Oh, well, no, but like this is actually a team though I look at and like for the Jets and I go, wow, Like, none of these teams are going to be easy this year, it seems.
No.
Except for the Giants. I think they're going to kick the shit out of the Giants. So, that's always the way I think.
All right, but yeah.
Trying to get more facial reactions.
But yeah, I just got a quick baseball note. I mean, the Yankees swept the A's today. You want me to freaking pat them on the back for sweeping the A's? Okay, that's like taking candy from a baby.
That's up to you, man.
Whoop-de-doo. But get this. The Yankees are in last place in the AL East, but they'd be in first place of the AL Central right now.
Yeah.
And remember last week I said, unfortunately, Aaron Hicks wasn't hurt? I don't know if he's on the IL, but he did get hurt recently.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not, like, I'm sorry, it's not a loss.
It's like what have I done? What have I done? But anyway, that's all I gotta say about baseball. You want to say anything about the Phils or?
They just won today on an error by Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper is back and he's just fucking crushing. Like he's incredible. I can't get over it. I can't keep going right into Bryce Harper. Like he came back from Tommy John within like 5 months. Fastest anyone ever has done it in sports.
Wow.
And he hit a home run in his third game, I think. I think his first game he went 0 for 4. His second game he went 3 for 3 and got on base 5 times. Every time he went to the plate. He was back. He's like immediately back in the lineup. And today, he technically speaking got a walk-off. Literally right before, as I was driving here. He got a technical walk-off. He hit the ball and there was an error, so he got the first and the stupid ghost runner scored.
Worst rule in sports.
Worst rule in sports. But that's about it. I mean, it's still...
No, I think the worst rule in sports is the WL line at Talladega, Daytona, and Atlanta.
Yeah?
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Maybe we'll go into that another time, but yeah.
Yes.
Baseball's baseball right now.
But yeah, basketball. You put a lot of notes for this, Zach.
Yeah, man, I've been... I think the crux of today is going to be the 2 playoffs that are
NBA,
going on and our racing phenom here. So, I mean, the basketball playoffs the NBA playoffs are in full swing. I've been locked into them lately. The Sixers are doing something that I think no one expected. They're leading 3-2 in the series. They've been like cursed in the second round. They've not been able to get out of the second round in recent years, but like they're beating the Celtics. Something's going right. And James Harden went off for like 2 games just looking like vintage James Harden, putting up 40 plus points. He made a game-winning shot in the last like 8 seconds of the game. They just look good, and the Celtics just don't. Except for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're looking great. Other than that, I mean, Embiid is looking like an MVP, even with a bad knee, but he looks better and better every game.
Yeah, he's just stomping on his opponents.
I don't know what's going... Yeah, he's just stomping on him. I was so glad that he went and dapped that guy up right after it happened because that was going to be a narrative immediately. It would have been a narrative, especially him and Philadelphia. It immediately would have been like...
He's just like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
What a scumbag. But yeah, no, Celtics are a great team. They're just not playing like themselves right now. So Sixers are up 3-2. Their final game is technically speaking tomorrow when this episode comes out. So today, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, we're recording on the 10th. Hopefully this is up tomorrow morning on the 11th.
Yeah, so hopefully they advance and don't have to go back to Boston. The next matchup is the Heat and the Knicks. Another good playoff series, but the Heat just have the upper hand.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is just a fucking savage.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the Knicks anymore.
It's like Jimmy Butler's just a savage. But the Knicks have kind of like what I feel like you said about the Rangers in recent years, is that they have they just have a good young core. Like they have some good young players. Jalen Brunson was like a kind of shot in the dark addition they made last offseason because he had one good season with the Mavericks.
Tom, hurry up, grab me another beer, please. Sorry, go on.
But Jalen Brunson's doing great. He's putting up like 25 plus a game. Obi Toppin is coming off the bench and he's doing great. RJ Barrett all of a sudden just exploded on the scene like he should have.
Good thing too, because like I said last time, they chose him over the guy who got traded from Utah to Cleveland. Donovan
Mitchell. Okay, well, dude, he's still in the playoffs and Donovan Mitchell isn't with the Cavaliers. So RJ's looking great. Julius Randle, though, is such a diva. This dude...
Some nights he looks freaking incredible.
Unbelievable.
I saw game 4, he got fouled out.
And I think the last game, I think game 4 he didn't have a bad game, but he did foul out. But then after the game, he's such a diva. Like, they asked him, why. I think the question was like, why? What do you have to do? Why? Why did this happen? Normal reporter questions. It's the same stupid shit every time. And he said like, I don't know, maybe they wanted it. Maybe they want it more. It's like, dude, you're in the playoffs. What the fuck do you mean? Maybe they want it more. Like, what a loser mentality,
At the same time, they're young. It's just not their time yet.
Well, Julius is not young. He's been in the league for a while. I
meant like the rest of the team.
I mean, Jalen Brunson today was asked before the game, and actually that game is probably on right now. But Jalen Brunson before the game today, they asked him like, what do you think of like Julius Randle's comments? And he basically just said, he's like, oh, we got to be better, like the perfect like cookie cutter answer, like we have to be better. That could
be. You could also interpret that maybe as like him kind of challenging his teammates, as like him to be like, wait a minute, I want it more. What are you talking about?
Maybe, but with
I'll show you that kind of thing.
With Julius Randle's track record, it's hard to believe that. But
true.
I can see that rallying call, but it came off. If you watch the video of him saying it, and you'll feel
there's ways of challenging. There's ways of challenging your team that might might not be it. So.
I also, real quick, just love the best conspiracy theory going on in sports is the Jimmy Butler illegitimate son thing. It's absolutely great. If you haven't looked it up, please look up Jimmy Butler's Michael Jordan's illegitimate son, Jimmy Butler. Dude, I forget all the details to it, but it's just so funny because he is killing it in the playoffs. He's always good. So
that's the Eastern Conference.
So that's the Eastern Conference. We go to the Western Conference. The Lakers and the Warriors are number 7 and number 6 seeds. Just really low on there. But this is the battle of the GOATs, and currently LeBron James is actually winning. All of a sudden, this Lakers team really turned it up a notch in the playoffs, and they're playing really friggin' well. A 7 seed has never, I believe I wrote down right, a 7 seed has never made the finals.
Really?
Yeah, no 7 seed has made the finals. 8 seed has won the finals.
The 99 Knicks.
7. Yep, the 98-99 Knicks.
Allen Houston, Ewing, the 99 Knicks. Oh, the infamous 4-point play, Larry Johnson. But yeah, that's...
But other than that, I mean, unless Steph Curry wants to turn it up a notch, it's just not going to, 3-1. Right? Yeah, 3-1. So, yeah. And the Nuggets and the Suns, this one had the funniest story of the whole playoffs from last episode that we had. Basically, home teams are winning constantly, just no away team. But in Game 4 in Phoenix, the ball went out of bounds. Someone flew into the stands for the Suns, and Nikola Jokic ran into the stands to grab the ball from this one guy. Apparently, that guy was Matt Ishiba. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but he is the owner of the Phoenix Suns. Okay. He grabbed the ball, and Nikola Jokic, big like Pillsbury Doughboy hands. And I like Jokic. Just, I'm sorry, it's too funny. He's a big soft dude. And he tried grabbing the ball, and the guy like kind of fought with him about it. And then I think it fell out of their hands, and then he kind of gave like a forearm shiver to like Matt Ishiba, the owner of the Suns.
Oh my god!
Now this isn't a big deal, but Matt Ishiba, being I guess an owner of a basketball team, did a full blown like. Onto his seat, a full blown flop, like he was getting a charge, like he was getting a charge in the paint. Yeah, he was getting charged in the paint by Nikola. Like he just went flying backwards. So I think Jokic got fined, but other than that, it was just kind of like a non-issue. But I just watching that, I mean. It's just funny when they get into it with the fans to me. I mean, unless it's actually violent, but like this was literally
not, you don't want malice at the palace.
No, of course not.
Personally,
of course. I mean, well, look, it's easy. It's like a lot of images fly through your head when you say that, but not good ones. This was like a silly little, like a big dude took a little dude and went like this with his arm, and the little dude just went, "Oh,
you shot me!"
Yeah. It looked like he was shot. So. And on the actual games, the Nuggets are currently up 3-2, but the next game is going to be in Phoenix. If the trend continues, we're going to see a Game 7.
Have we seen the Suns and 4 guy lately, or no?
I haven't
Because
seen
if I remember correctly, that started at a Suns Nuggets game in Denver. If I remember correctly,
I hope. Whatever opposing fan better not see Suns and 4 guys. We'll fucking knock them out.
Hey, like I could say this. I've gone into opposing stadiums rooting for my favorite team. Just don't act like you own the place.
Yeah.
That'll generally people won't mess with you.
Listen, I've always said the thing I would never do is just direct it at someone. I think being loud and boisterous is fucking awesome. Just don't start shit with people.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it to your own space. If someone wants to start something with you, antagonize them. Because then it's on them.
Either that or just go to they have like the option text security. Like, hey, this guy's being a real jerk. Just get him away from me.
Yeah. So just sometimes you just gotta let them duke it out, right, Tom?
Yes.
Yeah, let boys have at it, which you said a lot in the Armchair Racers this week. So yeah, do you want to go into any more racing news? I mean, I'm sure you covered a lot of it in the previous episode.
I mean, I wish I had like something cool to report about this
Something
week.
new, yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know, like it was another boring NASCAR race. Wait a minute. You guys remember in Endgame
Yes.
when Thanos has the Reality Stone and he pretends to kill Gamora?
Yes.
And then the Collector's like, magnificence!
Oh, you mean in Infinity War, not Endgame?
Yes, Infinity War.
Yes,
Magnificence! That was me at the end of the Kansas race. That race was magnificence! I can't find that GIF. That's a crime. That should be a GIF.
Yeah, we gotta find
I'm too lazy to make it tonight, so.
So anyway, you had this weekend. You had NASCAR versus Formula One. You had Formula One in Miami with the Miami Grand Prix, and you had NASCAR in Kansas City. F1 was on ABC. Prime Network.
Prime time.
Not prime time. Just it was during the day, but it was on
Primetime Network.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then you had NASCAR, which was on FS1. Now, we got a little bone to pick. I talked about this on Armchairs, but
If you haven't watched it, go listen to this.
yes. So you know who's a traitor?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is a traitor. They were in Kansas City, Missouri, but Kansas City goes across Missouri and Kansas City.
I was gonna say, is this Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas, but the city goes across both sides.
That I know.
He was in fucking Miami.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not American, man.
No,
That's not American.
No, it's not American.
And he plays American football.
He does play American football. So, the NASCAR was in Kansas, and F1 was in Miami, being on ABC, simulcast with ESPN.
Right.
So this is probably the best NASCAR. This is definitely the best NASCAR race all year. Probably the best NASCAR race since the Next Gen car debuted.
Wow.
Like it literally had it all. It had great fights. It had battles for the lead. It had a lot of passing for the lead. It had a great finish.
And you weren't even a fan of the person who won the race.
No, like my guy got wrecked out for the win.
That's how
I loved it.
That's how I felt watching like the Field of Dreams Classic between the White Sox and Yankees. I hated that the Yankees lost, but that was such a great game. But go on.
Yeah. So and you had tons of Ross Chastanisms committed all
Ross
across the race.
Chastanisms.
You had Ross Chastain who got into Kyle Busch. Who wrecked later. You had Kyle Busch. You had Ross Chastain and Chris Bell. Chris Bell wrecked out later, and then you had Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson.
Yeah.
Which I'll touch on that in a minute.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think got the better viewership this weekend?
F1.
F1 being
F1, probably
on ABC.
Right.
It's only 2 hours.
Right.
It's on ABC. Like the race was done. The race started like 20 minutes after the Cup Series race and was done like sometime in stage 2.
Wow.
And now the Cup race was still going on. Now, what do you think had the better ratings? You saying F1?
I'm probably.
Now this is just for America. This is worldwide.
Probably because they were on the primetime network, and I gotta say, from what I understand, F1's doing a better job of marketing itself right now. I'm like, more and more of my friends are talking about F1 right now.
I'd probably say F1 did.
Right, so I'll go with the F1 numbers first. So F1 earned a 0.9 rating with 1.6 million viewers, and NASCAR earned a 1.35 rating with 2.3 million.
So
viewers.
NASCAR beat it out.
Yes. Only thing though is that in the 18 to 49 demographic, F1 outscored NASCAR with a 625,000 viewers compared to NASCAR's 430,000 viewers. that's still not that much of a difference. That's 200,000 people.
I'd say the big difference there is because this is actually something as a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're wearing the wrestling shirt. Is this like a racing version of the Monday Night Wars?
Well, this is what's kind of funny about that is right now because WWE was just kind of going, free, and then all of a sudden AEW entered the picture, the second company that runs through TNT, which is what WCW used to do. Now, people like to look at the ratings nowadays because
ratings matter for everything now.
Wrestling, well, for TV, it's kind of tough because like ratings for TV are just kind of like moot at this point because everyone streams and stuff, and a lot of people. There's also DVR, and there's like the Monday Night Wars, as you said, was in the '90s. What? Unless you bought a TiVo, you weren't recording shit.
Yeah,
so you had to watch it. People were tuning in.
Yeah, I think my favorite description of the Monday Night Wars was by M. Plemon on "There'll Never Be Another Show Like Monday Night Raw." He said, "Imagine if Seinfeld and Friends were airing at the same time, and characters from each show were going back and forth between the two of them."
That's a great comparison, though. But no, yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Did you say the let me guess, the younger crowd probably watched F1.
Yes, but it wasn't that much more. It wasn't
that much more. That's good, though.
It was 625,000 viewers compared to NASCAR's 430,000. Now, the reason why F1 is getting such big boom in America, because now they have 3 races this year. Normally, each country that they go to gets 1 race. America now has 3. Really? They have the original race here, which was COTA, this Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas.
Cool.
Then they have Miami, which they just had, the Miami Grand Prix. Then they also have Vegas. Vegas is new this year.
Vegas looks... Man, that would be fucking cool.
Because I talked about this in an earlier episode of Armchairs, where I feel like they're trying to get... I think they want to get 4. Where they have the Southeast, they have Texas, which is, the Midwest, and you have Vegas, which is kind of like the West Coast,
West Coast,
It's going to draw the people in. And I'm thinking, what's the other territory that they need?
East?
Mm-hmm. And you know what they're building in Atlantic City?
Oh, Christ.
An F1 spec track. Now, it's not, it's
dude,
not
we gotta go to that. We gotta go to that. Atlantic City?
For F1?
Still, it's
You know how expensive the tickets are?
He's got a point there. Dude, it's dumb money. It's dumb money.
All the races I'm going to this year is not even going to come close to the amount of what it would cost
for
to
one
go,
F1
to go
race.
to one F1 race.
Okay, never mind.
So
I take that back.
And I want to see something entertaining. I'll just watch it on Netflix.
Shots fired.
I'll just watch it on Netflix next year.
Yeah, I know, right?
But that's what I'm getting to. The reason why there's such a big rise in attention to F1 is their Netflix Drive to Survive series, which NASCAR
my sister watches it,
is
actually.
retarded for not following the same platform.
Well, it's kind of funny that it's done through Netflix, but now I know it's different with NFL and NHL and MLB, but that's what they all do. They all make video yearbooks.
Exactly.
Whether it's for one team, one or a whole season. Do something creative,
because F1 has figured out how to market their drivers to the public.
That's all it is. It's a year. It's a yearly yearbook.
Exactly. NASCAR
I don't even know what Max Verstappen looks like, but I know about him.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure if I could say Max Verstappen, you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
Him too.
I've heard of him.
Sebastian Vettel.
That one I don't know.
Nope. Lost me.
You had me at Lewis Hamilton.
Danny Ricciardo.
Who?
Danny Ricciardo.
I might know.
My sister, yeah.
Okay. So I got
a problem with that.
Those are names that people know because of Netflix. Do you know? I mean, I can't really tell you, but do you know who Josh Wise is?
No.
Do you know who Josh Wise is?
No.
Do you know who Josh Walicki is?
No.
That sounds familiar. That name sounds familiar.
How about Ryan Newman?
Yeah. I know who Ryan Newman is.
Yes.
Matt Kenseth.
I know who he is.
Jeff Gordon.
Yes.
I know.
Different Burton.
Different time. Yeah.
Yes, different
totally
time.
different time.
Okay. Do you know Eric Almirola?
I do?
Well, you do, but
I only know because his first name is spelled stupid.
yeah, A-A-R.
Eric, don't ever...
Does he even have a win in the Cup Series?
If you're listening, don't
okay.
ever spell your child's name Eric with an A. All right? I'm sorry. Don't do it.
But NASCAR just needs to literally just copy paste Drive to Survive and make it NASCAR. If you ain't first or last, I don't care. But they just need to capitalize on that. And this weekend, something happened that NASCAR can capitalize and bring someone out of the NASCAR bubble into the media spotlight. Because I've had people that, like my friends, send me stuff about this that don't watch NASCAR. Tim sent me a meme about this.
Yes.
So, during the race on Sunday, Noah made contact with the wall coming out of turn 4 while next to Ross Chastain. So, Noah believed that Ross fenced him. Now, fencing is pretty much, or like walled, is like you pretty much just push the guy into the fence.
Right.
So, but there was no contact made. Noah also felt at Dega 2 weeks ago that he wrecked him there. I mean, they made contact and they wrecked. And apparently, on the flight back, Noah confronted him about it and was like, "What the hell?"
In Talladega.
Yeah, on the flight after Talladega. So this was only 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So after the race, Noah gets out of his car, and you can see him lurking while Chastain is giving his post-race interview. You're gonna see him like lurking near near Ross, and Chase Elliott goes by and kind of eggs him on to like, "You're gonna take that?"
All right, I like Chase Elliott then.
Essentially something like that. Like there's no audio of it, but other drivers have.
You can tell.
People on pit road have confirmed that Chase Elliott egged on Noah to go after.
Chase Elliott was me in the high school lunchroom.
Yes. So
you're gonna take that?
Noah confronts Ross, and they start talking. Now, you might like this because this kind of resembles a hockey fight. So Noah.
Yes, you were talking about this on Armchairs.
So Noah made the first mistake. Instead of just punching him, they start fighting. He grabs him right here.
On the chest.
On the chest. Now, Ross immediately goes for his right hand.
Okay.
Go for my right hand.
Okay.
What am I going to do?
You're going to swing your right hand.
You're holding it.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
You're going to punch me in the face, aren't you?
Yeah.
This one's free.
With your right hand.
Bro, this one's free. That's the point, Jack.
Exactly.
Come on now.
So
you got a good pop on.
What's Ross Chastain not what I put here?
I don't know why they did it like hockey style. Like the reason why they grab each other hockey fight is because they're on skates. They need to balance each other.
But no, if you're gonna go up to fight someone, just fucking punch them. You know what I mean?
You're asking if you're gonna grab someone. Hey, guess what, buddy? You've engaged. Like, get ready.
Exactly.
And Ross even said, "Don't."
Yeah.
He was like,
Ross
"Don't."
told him 3 times.
He told him, "Don't."
It's like Kyle McBride and Pineapple Express. Don't.
Yes. He basically gave him. He
told him 3 times, "Don't." And Ross Chastain connects the biggest watermelon punch I've ever heard in my life, and knocks the $5 biggie bag right out of Noah Gratz.
Yeah, like no one was poking a bear at that point.
Yes, I think it was you that said that his hair grew like 3 inches. I hate that haircut. That sucks. And then the thing that I hated about this was immediately after Ross got that punch in, Jerry Rice, I mean, this security guard, he looks just like Jerry Rice. I mean, you've seen the video, right? He looks just like, he's got that beard and the same circle glasses, you know? Comes in and he breaks up the fight immediately, and there's a photo that you can see that the security guard is holding back Noah's arm, and he's ready to punch.
Yeah.
And then right after, this part I really love, right after the security guard gets in between them, Ross goes, "Oh," but he's giving this most daunting smile to Noah, you know? And,
Did you just rip ass?
No, that was the seat. I promise you.
Okay, never mind.
The VP of racing has come out and mentioned, like, hey, like NASCAR is an emotional sport, their emotions will show, we don't necessarily like fighting, but, we want the drivers to express themselves, but once it gets to a point like that, that's when we want our security guards to step in. They don't want crew members to step in, but they want their security guards to step in. I say take it a step further and just let them go until like clearly someone's like, okay, that guy needs some milk. You know what I mean? Like just let them fight. You know what I mean? Because like NASCAR wants to be, it hurts our image. Do they fight in baseball?
Yes.
Do they fight in hockey?
Yes.
Especially.
Do they fight in football?
Yes, they do.
Do they fight in basketball?
Well, here's the thing. In hockey, you won't necessarily get suspended for a fight unless you gotta have to do something really egregious in hockey to get suspended for a fight.
I'm not saying
Like in an MLB, you'll get suspended for a fight, but I can guarantee you this: MLB Facebook page, they'll market the shit out of that fight.
Of course,
Yes.
and that's the thing. Like for years, NASCAR's been like, oh, we don't like fighting, but then they'll use that in promotion for the next week's race.
Every beef.
When they come to the race the following year, they're going to use that again in promotion for the race. So it's like, don't tell me that you don't like it.
So like the way that I view it is that
it's like Deadpool. Sorry, Zach.
I was gonna say the way that I view it is that like we all love rivalries.
Exactly.
Why would you not capitalize on that? I mean,
Exactly.
like, you literally have it right there in the palm of your hand, and they got it in like 4K. That was beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah, you heard the punch
I heard
through
the pop. You can
Yeah.
hear it. It's so crisp.
It was great.
Yeah, NASCAR
And
does.
I wish Noah got him. I'm starting to like Ross because of all the bullshit that's going on
Yeah.
around him.
I mean, I like both of them.
No, but like, yeah, Noah should have been able. Like the fact that it was broken up immediately, it's like you got to let him get one back.
Yeah,
like,
at least give him one back, you know? But, like, that's the thing. Like, I remember, like, watching, I mentioned this in Armchair, like, I remember, like, during, like, the end of the race, I'm like, because you had you had Ross and Bubba getting close to each other towards the end of the race, and I'm like, if, like, Ross does something to Bubba will fight.
Yes.
He has.
Yes,
you know?
he has, yeah.
And
He's
like,
for no reason.
And Bubba's big, you know? Like, he could probably knock someone out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, then you had Ross and Noah fighting on pit road.
Yeah,
I loved it. I think we need to see more of it.
Yeah, NASCAR secretly loves it. Like it's like this. Well, I was gonna say the scene in Deadpool when like he finds out the cab driver kidnapped like that boy of like the girl. He likes and he's like, "What have you done? That's amazing. Great job."
But as I was saying, I got sidetracked. There is going to be no penalties going forward, which I think is the right thing to do. But again, I think we need more of that, you know, because and Ross Chastain is turning into this superstar in NASCAR.
It's because of this,
yeah, because like remember Martinsville?
dude. That was the
hell
most
no.
got back into it.
does a video game move.
I wish I still had that video of like that one guy that was sent to the chat. It was deleted, but it was this one like Southern guy watching the video, and he's just going
Larry the plumber or something like that.
I don't know, but like my favorite description of him was "If the South will rise again" was a person.
I think I still love the video of all the comms of all the other drivers.
Of like we're going like what the hell?
Everyone. It wasn't everyone, but it was everyone within the vicinity of when he went around. Because like there were some people that just weren't affected by it.
No.
The only one who was I think Danny
Hamlin. Yes.
Yeah, so it was like when it all happened, everyone was like, "What the fuck did I just?"
And
see?
Ross's spotter or crew chief or whatever was yelling, going crazy, like, "You made the transfer! You made the transfer!"
It was just great. Now a little bit to touch on a little bit next week. Next week is Darlington, which is the throwback weekend.
Is there anything funny on the wall here? Because I've been thinking about ass pee for a week now.
SP.
ASP. Darlington, no, but it's a throwback weekend, which teams will honor NASCAR's past, you know, whether it's past legends, past sponsors, just really cool paint schemes. Can you just like see that a little bit? I can see that. So,
So good, I should really move forward.
so it's just it's a good time. It used to be ran Labor Day weekend, which made sense. Now they run it on Mother's Day weekend, which I don't know, it doesn't. But like they're still in Darlington on Labor Day weekend.
Yes, Darlington, South Carolina. Drove past it. I saw signs for it on the way back home.
But it's pretty cool, you know. I mean, I think it's just like a nice little, you know, like even like the broadcast will look like old, like not like old, like great,
That would
but
be
like
fucking
it just
cool.
be like it looks vintage.
No, that'd be cool.
The announcers will dress up like from the 70s or 80s.
I would love that. I would love that kind of shit.
The whole thing's a vibe, you know. And then the people there, like the fans, they go in on it.
Oh, I'm so in.
Sometime like the drivers, like they'll change their suits to look like their old suits.
When's this race?
This weekend.
What
Sunday.
time?
It is.
We'll sort that out.
It is 3:00 on Sunday.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But it's weird. Like NASCAR will race on Mother's Day, but not Father's Day. I don't know about you, but I'd be more inclined to take my dad to a race. than my mom.
I
you know
agree.
what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's like MLB having no games on Father's Day, but a
Yeah.
game on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And I've gone to a Father's Day game.
yeah.
It's a phenomenal
I
experience.
used to take my dad to City Field for Father's Day for like
Nice.
three years straight. You know, it was a great time.
But yeah, I mean, Darlington is a very historic track.
Yes.
I mean, I instantly think back to the race of 1990 when Cole Trickle was tricked by his crew chief that he had special tires. And then he ended up winning the race and getting a sponsor after. I'm just kidding. That's from the movie Days of Thunder. Spoiler alert.
I kind of feel like NASCAR should move the throwback weekend from Darlington to now North Wilkesboro, which is the race that was brought back from the racetrack brought back from the dead, which is actually the only sports venue in the country to have been closed
and then brought
back for the same style event.
This is why, like, NASCAR, get on your shit, bro. Like, that is so small. Yeah, you're right. Like, why would you not take the one that's been defunct for a while and make that the throwback?
Because, like, there's even, like, teams that are doing throwbacks that weekend as well. You know?
Why would you? Yeah.
Because, they're making the track look as, like, they have to do, like, safety innovation. Like, they have to make it safe.
Is Darlington one of the oldest ones?
It's a very old track.
It's one of the first. Like, I would say, like, Martinsville, North Wilkesboro, and Martinsville.
And what would you categorize it as? Like, I mean, is it too big to be a short track?
It was originally a super speedway. It's a speedway.
It's not symmetrical.
Speedway.
That much I can tell you.
So actually, the shape of the track is interesting. It's almost shaped like an egg because there was a minnow pond.
Dude, I hated that track in NASCAR Thunder 04. Because you gotta slow the fuck down at those turns.
I still remember to this day where I was watching Ricky Craven beat Kurt Busch.
So the funny thing you say about that, the back stretch used to be the front stretch, and it was at the time one of the biggest tracks ever made. So you know how when you race it, you know how there's like the dotted line like in the middle,
right?
So they were supposed to race on the bottom. That was supposed to be the racing surface, and the top was runoff.
Jesus Christ!
So like that's what that was. That was supposed to be runoff because they were going so fast. And then eventually they realized, hey, we can go faster on top.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
dope.
But yeah, there's like a lot of cool things about Darlington. But I still think like they should bring it back to North Wilkesboro.
All right.
Because they tried to make that track. They tried to like preserve it as it was back in 1996.
Or 1990. I'll try and tune in then, especially if they're doing something with the Chiron and stuff, like with the display, and you're saying that the production is going to be like throwback. That'd be so neat.
It's pretty sweet.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
And then the All-Star race is at North Wilkesboro the weekend before Memorial Day weekend. So that weekend prior, that's the All-Star race, which is going to be at North Wilkesboro.
I'm in.
Which is the same surface that it was back in the 90s. But, you know, that like the cool thing about that track is, like, they're not going to have a modern score pylon, like, to show position. They still have the old one that's in the back that just shows the top five, and it's still changed by hand.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, that's neat.
So that would pretty much wrap it up for racing. Oh, one more thing. Lewis Hamilton is retiring from F1 at the end of this year.
I have heard that name before.
Yes.
So he's
like
how long has he been doing
he's a 7-time F1 champion.
I figured.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured he was a young guy. Never mind.
And he has interest in NASCAR.
Okay.
And I gotta say, bring it on, British boy.
Ooh, all right, buddy. Yeah. Speaking of sports that have a great product but don't know how to market themselves, time to focus on the NHL. So, before we get into the playoffs, the Chicago Blackhawks are the winners of the Connor Bedard sweepstakes. Yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't remember. I don't feel like looking it up. The NHL hosted the draft lottery because I'm sure you know this is a way to prevent teams from just flat out tanking like the NFL does.
Yeah. I think there's one thing wrong with the NFL.
Yeah, the team with the best odds was the Anaheim Ducks with the Columbus Blue Jackets, but Blackhawks had the third best odds, and after the lottery, they ended up getting number one. Now, you get the typical, it was rigged, all that kind of stuff, but like at the same time, that's not the biggest controversy surrounding this. I talked about this the last episode, how the Chicago Blackhawks basically enabled a sexual predator. And like I said, I'm not going to mention his name, but you can argue that, like, should the Blackhawks have even been allowed to have a overall first round pick in general because of this? And the NHL has punished teams for a lot less. Like, for example, Arizona Coyotes holds pre-draft workouts, loses a first rounder. The New Jersey Devils signs Ilya Kovalchuk to a contract that was legal at the time, loses first round. Chicago Blackhawks covers up sexual abuse for a decade. You get
a decade. A decade. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. 1 year. I'll let it slide.
5 years? 10? No. I'm kidding. It's never okay. It's never okay.
1 year.
Don't cancel us. It's
But
never okay.
basically the whole premise is like, at the time it came out, like the Blackhawks were so focused on winning this Stanley Cup. It's like, let's not distract the team. Well, it worked. They won the Stanley Cup, but guess what? Anytime someone looks at that 2010 team, they're gonna look at that and be like, yeah, it's tainted. Like they didn't cheat, but at the same time, it's like, dude, was it really worth it?
It's dirty to look at. It's kind of like the Astros winning the World Series.
Or Kyle Busch winning
They
the championship.
cheated.
But Chicago Blackhawks, they covered up sexual assault for years and years. Oh, you get the best prospect since Connor McDavid. But
He's doing great.
But more notes on the draft. The Ducks draft lottery, I should say. The Ducks lost out on the first overall pick again. The first time they lost out was in 2005. And you know who went number one? Well, let's see.
I didn't know until I saw your nose. I cheated.
Okay. Have you heard of this name before? Sidney Crosby?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. At least
That's Bing Crosby's son, right?
But I thought he sucks.
If you're from Philadelphia, New York, or
Jack, I've heard Crosby because you cry more about Crosby than Crosby cries.
Fair.
You're not exactly wrong. After this, Blackhawks season tickets sold out immediately. Basically.
Really?
That's how special Connor Bedard is.
All right, fine. I'm gonna keep tabs on him. I wonder if I can put stock in him.
But the season tickets sold out immediately, and this is the second time the team went first, at least in recent history, that the team went first overall. The first time was in 2007. They drafted Patrick Kane. So they're in good shape. But on to the playoffs. First, we'll start in the West. The Oilers and Golden Knights. Right now, Vegas leads 2-1. Leon Draisaitl's leading the playoffs in points with 13 goals and 4 assists, 17 total. And Connor McDavid is tied for second, along with Dallas' Rupe Hintz, who we'll get to in a little bit, with 15 points. And the Oilers are a very top-heavy team, and it's easy to see why. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are two of the top 5 players in the world. So a lot of their salary cap is sent towards them, so they're not exactly able to build a deep lineup.
Right.
But as far as Vegas goes, who's leading the series, Mark Stone is leading them with 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists, and Jack Eichel, who came to the team this year, he's second in the team in points with 10, or tied for second with Stevenson, I think it was. But he's making the most out of his first ever postseason. Come to think of it, I just realized this is the battle between the first, second overall picks of the 2015 NHL draft. Connor McDavid, who selected first overall by the Edmonton Oilers, and Jack Eichel, who selected second overall by the Buffalo Sabres. And obviously things didn't work out for him in Buffalo, so he got sent to Vegas. I'm sure he's very happy about that. Other series. And while I'm on it, they play tonight. It's gonna be too late for an update by the time I'm done editing this. So, other series in the West: the Seattle Kraken versus the Dallas Stars. Zach, the Seattle Kraken are 2 wins away from going to the. I feel like it would be so awesome to see a Kraken Golden Knights series. It's like the NHL.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, people I listen to Blue Shirts Breakaway Rangers podcast. They complain about small markets. Getting all this success would be bad for the sport. I'm like, what? Personally, I love it. It's you're growing this game in the small markets, and I want to see teams who've never won before win it. It's one thing if they're a division.
I'm sorry. In any sport, it's really lame to think that a small market team shouldn't make it, because here's the thing. I personally, as a baseball fan, have watched the Tampa Bay Rays with one of the lowest salaries look phenomenal every year. They're always competitive. And I mean, why would I not want more parity?
Yeah. Unless it's your team winning all the time.
Because you're a bigoted fan and only care about your team and not the sport.
Well, I am bigoted, but I'm fucking with you. I'm not.
Okay, but Speaking of Tampa Bay, did you see like Orlando proposed like some kind of crazy stadium complex?
Wait.
Well, let's do that another time because that's still
Okay, we're planting the seed.
That's still just a campaigning mistake.
You're talking about baseball, right?
Yes, baseball.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up the fact that, dude, why
That
would
name
I
is
not?
dumb, by the way.
What?
That name is dumb.
What?
The Dreamers?
The what?
The Dreamers? Orlando Dreamers?
Yeah, no, don't.
No,
Please don't call it that.
just keep them the Rays at that point.
Yeah, well, that's up to the Rays franchise. The point is, I was trying to bring it back to hockey. Why would you not want the Kraken versus the Knights? And also, by the way, I went to Vegas. I went to Vegas for when we were young.
They love the Knights.
They love the Raiders and the Knights are their babies. You go anywhere, they're selling merchandise from. I mean, that's Vegas. You could buy anything anywhere, and you could gamble anything everywhere.
I guess the A's are going to be in good hands. So.
Yeah, they love their sports teams. It's
A little
clear.
bit of a side note. I don't know why Vegas doesn't already have hasn't already had a football, baseball, and hockey team like
It's kind of crazy
for
that
years
it
because it's if I'm like
It's because it's a tourist town. That's why.
but people still live there. That you know what I mean? Like you know what else is a tourist town? Nashville. People don't live in Nashville.
They
Tourist town.
got two sports teams, the
Exactly.
Predators and Titans.
Exactly. But like,
we're kind of on a tangent here, but let me interject there. That's the second That's the second city that might be getting is vying for a
MLB
expansion MLB
yes,
team.
yes.
So-
Because I think I've even mentioned this in the past about the A's and the Blue Jays.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nashville and Vegas. They're tourist towns. I would go to a Colts game in Vegas.
Fuck yeah.
It's in fucking Vegas.
Hell yeah,
You know? I would go to a Titans game because it's in fucking Nashville.
When we were,
I want to visit Nashville.
when
so
I went
bad.
to When We Were Young Fest, there was a hockey game, and even though I know very little about hockey, I looked at my wife and we had some free time. We found some other things to do, like music wise, because it was a music festival. But there was a night where we were free, and the defending champion Avalanche were in town to play the Knights, and I was like, "Kat, come on, we could just get some nosebleed tickets." Like, they were a little pricey.
They put on a show. They really
were pricey,
do.
but like it was. I was like, why not? Why not go to a hockey game while we're out here? Why the fuck not?
But you know that you're always going to sell tickets because there's always going to be
people. Trust me. There's
Exactly.
always fucking.
But
people.
anyway,
All right, back to hockey.
Yeah,
All right.
back to the playoffs. At the aforementioned Rupe Hintz leads Dallas with 15 points. He's tied for second overall in the playoffs with 6 goals, 9 assists. And for the Kraken, three guys are tied for the team lead in points. Nine this season from this postseason from Yanni Gord, Jaden Schwartz, and Justin Schultz. So yeah, the Kraken are just a team, just guys who just buy into their system. And Dave Hackstall, they got a lot of crap for selecting him, but he's done a very good job his second year as head coach. But anyway, time to move on to the East. All the good feeling with the Toronto Maple Leafs, like I was happy for them when they won the first round. All that happy feeling is gone. The Florida Panthers, I'm going to get to them later. Do not sleep on them. They're
Clearly.
Yeah, Game 4 is happening right now. Let's see. Well, it's the end of the second. In Game 4, Toronto is up 1-0. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the Panthers lead the series 3-0. And unlike the other sports, 4 times in NHL history, teams come back from 3-0 and won it. One of them was the Maple Leafs in the final in 1942. The Islanders, I believe, did it to the Penguins. I don't know what year. Mm-hmm. Then the Flyers did it to the Bruins in 2010, and the Kings did it to the Sharks in 2014. So they have a lot of work to do, and they're not getting production from their core 4. Their core 4 being Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Mitch Marner, William Nylander. Wow, I wrote Mariners in my notes instead of Marner. They haven't produced a goal in this entire series.
Wow.
But yeah, as far as the Panthers go, keep keeping an eye on Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk has been looking fantastic.
Here's the thing.
I've seen it.
Not only does he have 8 points in his last 5 games, and is leading the Panthers in points this postseason with 5 goals and 10 assists for 15 total. Even when he's not scoring, he has an impact. He's forechecking hard. He's hitting guys. He's a menace to society.
He's flying
He's
all over
just
the
like
fucking
his
rink,
father.
man.
He's an asshole. And It's just his brother has a more punchable face. I hate Brady Tkachuk a lot more because he looks like the freaking kid from Barnyard who's like, that's count tipping. Never mind. But yeah,
you gotta put that image on there now.
And everyone watching this is gonna be like, Jack, what the hell are you talking about? He looks nothing like him.
Yeah, well, he reminds him of him.
But yeah, the Panthers clearly won that trade with the Calgary Flames when Johnny Gaudreau left the Flames. Tkachuk realized the Flames aren't going to go, and he was like, "Yeah, I want out of here." And Sergei Bobrovsky, their goalie, he's struggled to find himself since they got him, but like he's found himself. He's playing out of his mind right now.
I gotta say that right now it just looks like the Leafs. The Leafs must have that hangover from when they won their first playoff round in like 20 plus years, right? Was it 20 plus years?
Not almost 20. I think it was 2004.
Well, either way, the hangover from winning that playoff series, the Panthers beating the Boston Bruins in 7, right? In 7 games.
Yeah, the Panthers were I've been known as kind of a joke throughout the league, but listen, they're no joke, dude. Right now.
Well, how can you take them as a joke now? All right, they beat the team that just broke the regular season record.
Yeah.
In 7 games, they did. Yeah, they took them the whole. They went bell to bell with them, and now they're beating the crap out of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are a good team. They just have had bad luck in the playoffs, and now I think the Maple Leafs, like I said, it must have been just like a playoff round winning hangover. Like, they wanted Boston. I saw the videos of the fans.
We won Florida. No, they were chanting "We won Florida," and there were others chanting "We won Boston." It's like, what are you doing? Never do that.
You're just asking. Oh well, great, good job. Now you got Florida. You got the team that's less than Boston supposedly, and you're getting crushed.
But yeah, and the final playoff series going right now. The Carolina Hurricanes are leading the New Jersey Devils 3-1. And guys, Carolina Hurricanes, no Max Pacioretty, no Timo Teravainen, no Andrei Svechnikov, and they're dominating. Game 3 was an outlier, but they're dominating the Devils. And this goes back like what I say, Rod Brindamore, their coach, in my opinion, is the best coach in the NHL. He's the best coach in hockey. He gets the most out of his guys. One guy's gone, next man steps up. And it's like this guy I'm about to talk about right here. Jordan Martinook, he was put on waivers to start the beginning of the season. Now, he's second on the team this postseason in points with 9. He's got 9 points in his last 5 games. And, the Carolina Hurricanes have structure. They have structure, New York Rangers. Structure. They have a game plan. But yeah, Devils, even in the games they won, the Devils' goaltending has given up a lot. In 4 games, they've given up 21. And they're fighting for their lives tomorrow.
Yeah.
See, Rangers? See what happens when you don't shit out of Kira Schmidt's chest and create high danger scoring chances? But yeah, that's all
I gotta say for the Devils,
they're back. They are 100% back.
Similar to the Leafs, but on a lesser note, because the Leafs were just too happy to win a playoff round. I think the Devils. Ooh, I spit. I think the Devils.
Alex.
I think the Devils. It was a rivalry. It was the Rangers and the Devils. It's close proximity.
Congratulations. You have bragging rights for a year. Congratulations on winning your Stanley Cup. But go on.
Hey, they're further than you. All right,
I can't argue that. Can't argue that.
The point is, sometimes when you have rivalries like that, like in baseball, hockey, basketball, sometimes the rivalries will just take so much out of you. I'm actually wondering they're drained because they were getting crushed by the Hurricanes.
It's like when the Jets beat up. It's like when the Jets beat the Patriots in 2010-11 playoffs, and then they just didn't have it for the Steelers.
Didn't have it.
And by the time they realized it was the second half, it was too late to make the comeback.
Yeah, so I think unlike the Leafs, who I think they were just in a lull.
Here's the thing:
they must have blew their load or something when they won that playoff round.
Yeah, because the Leafs should have been way further ahead than what the Devils.
The Devils and the Rangers had a hard fought 7-game series, and they're just getting pounded. They're just the Hurricanes are taking advantage, and they're trying to move on to the next round.
Okay, but anyway, speaking of the Rangers, like I said last Palcast, they need to get rid of Gerard Gallant.
Yep,
and they did. They mutually agreed to part ways, which. And yeah, Tom, make sure this doesn't last more than 3 minutes. Okay, he's got the timer up right now. Anyway, I still think moving on from him was, it was kind of an L, but inevitable given
Yes.
his inability to adapt. You know, his coaching style is basically like throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. At the same time, like some time has processed, I realized, you know what, he wasn't given a very diverse roster. That's
ownership.
That's on, you know, the GM. And that's all stuff I'm going to talk about in the next Cutting Edge. It's coming, I swear. I started writing the script today.
What she said.
But yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. But, you know, there is hope for the future for the Rangers, because Rangers AHL affiliate, the Hartford Wolfpack, they're on to the semifinals of the AHL playoffs. I mean, their coach Chris Knoplock is someone, you know, we've been keeping an eye on. You know, he's been going through the motions with that organization. And Brendan Hoffman, who I talked about last podcast, you know, he's going to the OHL finals with the Peterborough Petes. If the Hartford Wolfpack do go to the finals of their league, you know, Hoffman's eligible to join him, which I think would be fantastic news for the Rangers, because like he's getting professional experience at that point. Right. It's like, but yeah, this is all stuff I'm going to talk about in the next episode of Cutting Edge, because as I tried to go through as much as I could the last episode, and there's just so much detail I got to go into. Like, I made so many mistakes. Like, I said taking Mika Zibanejad off the power play. Like, no, they didn't take him off the power play. They took him out of the left circle is what I meant to say. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And that wraps up hockey, and that basically wraps up all our topics about that we wanted to talk about today. I mean,
I think there's
anything else you want to talk about, Zach, Tom?
One thing I want to interject, something I mentioned before we started the podcast, was the USFL.
Right.
Ooh.
So the USFL, I mean, I'm pretty sure Fox has
broadcasting rights. Don't. Who cares about me kicking your knee? We're on rotating. It's cold.
Feet.
It's cold.
Rex Ryan burst through the wall. Oh yeah.
Anyway, so the USFL, I'm pretty sure.
Beer back. I'm grabbing another beer.
Grabbing one too.
Oh, grab
Please?
one too. Yes. Go on. Talk about the USFL already.
The USFL. So I don't really have a favorite or whatever.
Jack.
But that's not the fridge. Anyway,
we gotta
so
cut this.
The USFL. So I'm pretty sure Fox has an ownership stake in the USFL. That's why all the games are on Fox.
Right. Yes, they do.
So the thing for me is, like, I'm watching it and it's really good football. You know, it's entertaining, it's energetic. I think it's really cool how, like,
I'm still mad at you.
I really think like it's cool because, you know, like you get to hear what the coaches are saying. Like you get to hear the calls, you get to hear everything.
The XFL and the USFL are really trying different stuff.
You get to interview the players during the game. Like I think it's a very good idea. The thing that's gonna kill it is you can't have a sport that's based in towns and not play in those towns.
Yeah.
You can't
That's
have
ridiculous.
That. It's not NASCAR.
Really? Like, that's so dumb.
Like NASCAR, always like NASCAR, golf.
It's an international
bowling,
thing.
It's like one of those. No. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, fine. NASCAR doesn't need to have like, oh, like I like this person because they're from my state or whatever, or like this team is from my state. You know, like most NASCAR teams are centered out of North Carolina. You know, golfers or whatever. Like you might like a guy because you may have golfed with him when you were growing up or whatever. But I mean, football is a sport that's like, this is this town's team, or this is this state's team.
Every sport is kind of like
they
that.
have to play there.
Yeah, there's no reason. I'm
I'm not gonna have any interest in the team if I have no chance of seeing them play in my
that's
area.
stupid. That's dumb.
Like,
I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it, and I hate it.
I think they
I'm immensely
change that.
disappointed, and my day is ruined.
This is shallow and pedantic.
That's all I wanted to say about the USFL.
That's interesting. I didn't even
But,
know that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
because like they don't. I think they play in like 3 towns.
Yeah.
Or 3. They play in like 3 stadiums, and I'm not even sure if any of those stadiums have a home team, which I think would be a little ridiculous. But you know,
I don't know. I'm off camera. I don't know
This is a
what
terrible
I'd say.
ending to an episode, but thank you for trying, Tom.
I tried. It fell apart.
No, that is interesting, though. That is interesting. But it was just got out of hand because Jack was trying to grab beers, and now Bree is doing this behind the camera. And
Bree, do you want to come on camera?
I do not.
What do you want?
Jill, do you want to come on camera?
No.
You sure? You're wearing a NASCAR shirt.
You're already on the.
You're already on the
podcast.
NASCAR
Oh, she's looking at the beer cans. Like, no, they're not on me.
This is a fucking disaster.
They're all Zach.
Recycling.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
These are
I was.
recycling.
Yeah, but
reuse,
we're
recycle.
recording. We're not gonna get up.
Jack ran across the fucking living room.
That's Jack.
Reduce, reuse, retarded.
When we get big, that's gonna be a T-shirt. Reduce, reuse, retarded.
Yes. All right. I think that's enough. FUNTS.
Yeah, we gotta. There's like stories I do want to tell about like my previous experience in sports, like with like a little animated like section like at the end of the episode with like terrible stick figures, like
I think we got to come up. Well, that we didn't have any really crazy ideas, but there's so many playoffs going on, so there's nothing to talk about right
Well,
there.
there's gonna be a little
do specialized stuff.
Yeah, I want to.
Because like with armchairs, Alex and I think it was like our second episode because it was in between the Clash and the 500. Like
What you got
week.
into?
We got like get to know us.
Yeah.
You know? Like it was kind of like a background by Alex and I.
It's a good idea.
I think maybe you guys should do something like that too.
Yeah, like, I do want to tell you guys the stories of how I met like hockey legends like Neil Smith and Rick Middleton at bars.
Oh,
once.
dude, Neil Smith was my favorite drummer in that band.
Rush.
You are so wrong. You deserve to get slapped after that. It's Neil Peart from Rush. That and I want to tell you the story why I despise Mr. Met with a burning passion. Like there's a story behind it that.
Oh.
But I gotta come up with a terrible animation for it, for our visual viewers. But anyway, if you made it this far, thank you very much for listening. If you like, please share and subscribe.
If you're Yingling, please sponsor us.
Yes, actually, please, because I think the three of us drink enough.
No, plenty.
No, actually, we don't drink enough.
We should send this to them, and then they'll just send us cease and desist letters.
That's basically they'd be like, oh, these kids are weird. Man, let's give them a shot. That's what I hope Dave Portnoy sees when he stumbles upon us.
The current, not DG, because that's the OG.
Dick Yingling?
Dick, I have met Dick.
You met Dick.
I've met Dick.
Nice.
All right, but anyway, if you made it this far, thank you much for listening. If you like it, please share it with your friends and subscribe. If you didn't like it, well, I thank you very much for listening this far. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FUNTS Podcast and on Facebook at Fat Athletic Nerds Talking Sports. This is JackKnife alongside Tommy Joe and the Zach Daniels. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Rock and roll.
Liar.
Armchair Racers Podcast.
All right.
You guys want to sing Mississippi Queen again?